Hello, this is Joanne Hewins from LoveToCreate.typepad.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I want to show you how to make this card. This card is made using the Happy Tales stamp set along with the Dog Builder Punch. This can be purchased together as a bundle. And this is on page 33 of our Occasions catalog that's live now. And then we're also going to be using the Well Said stamp set and the Well Written Framelits that are on page 27. The Well Said stamp set comes in 2 packs. It's packed full. There's a lot of stuff there. And then the framelits are big enough to be put on more than one of these magnetic sheets. So lots of words and some pictures. And so we'll be using those today. We're going to start out though with a sheet of the thick Whisper White. This is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and I did score it at 4 1/4. With this thick paper, I think it's really important to score. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that and burnish it with my bone folder to have a good fold with that. And so I think we will start actually with the words up here. Now in the Well Written Framelits, there is not the word friends. So I'll show you in just a minute how to do that, but I think we'll go ahead and work on the forever. Now the forever comes from a stamp set or a stamp in the Happy Tales, but it says friends forever. So let's talk for a minute about how we're going to mask part of that stamp set. I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus, and I have this mounted so that it will be in the right place on our card front. And what I'm going to do is take some Scotch tape, and I'm just going to tape it over this friends. Now, excuse me just a moment. I realize I don't have my reading glasses on, and I need to be able to see that that's covered. Yeah. So I've got that covered. I'm going to ink up this stamp with my Shaded Spruce stamp pad. And then it's very important that you remember to take off the tape. So I'm going to take that off and attach it to my trash can over here, and then stamp the forever. Okay, that's just one way that you can make your stamps last or make them have more than one use. And I think while we're doing the stamping, I'm going to go ahead and open the card, turn this around for the saying that's on the inside, and go ahead and put that in. And then our stamping with the Stamparatus will be done. Now the good thing about the Stamparatus is that if you don't stamp very well, you can go back and stamp again. And I'll just show you that it should go right back in the same place. There you go. Isn't that a beautiful print? Okay, so we're through with that. I'm going to move the Stamparatus out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and shut my pad before I get my sleeve in it, and we'll go ahead and talk about the friends. So I'm going to use the multi-purpose adhesive sheets to help me when cutting these words out. So I have already worked on cutting some of these stems, and I have some of this paper attached to the back, but I'm going to go ahead and put some more on there just so you can see how to do that. So I'm just going to peel this backing away, and I'm actually going to peel that away also. And I'm just going to lay it down here. just pull that back from it. So that's all you have to do to get the backing on there. Now, I'm not going to need that much, but I just wanted to show you how to do it. So now I'm going to take from here the word friend, but I also want the S, so I'm going to also take the word miss, and I'm going to cut the both of those out. Let me pull in the big shot, and we'll take care of that. And on this big shot, I've got my magnetic platform, I have a clear plate, and I'm going to put down my cardstock and my words. And I'm actually going to go ahead and pull in this piece right here and cut that at the same time. And I will let me push that up just a little. Okay, let me put on my other clear plate. You know, these magnetic platforms sometimes move those around when they're smaller. And I'm going to just roll this through, and then I'm going to roll it back through. Okay, that should be good enough on that. So let me move that out of the way. And we have the word friend and the word miss. And then we have some more of our stems. So I'm just going to pull this friend out of here. And notice my little dots right here. I kind of want to keep those to put it on my card. I'm going to take my snips and kind of snip off this flourish at the end of the word friend, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this part to the card. So let me find my pokey tool here. So I'm going to push off some of this inside part here. And go ahead and peel the rest of that off and put down my friend. I'm doing that where you can see it. Alright, and now we're going to take the word miss. Here it is, still in the paper. And I'm just going to cut off one of these S's here to make my friend say friends. And get that center part out of there. And then I'm just going to kind of lay this and see if it's going to fit. Well, and I think that's fine, so I'm just going to add that. And now I have it saying friends. And now we're going to do the dot. Now, I'm not good with these dots. Getting that paper off. So just be patient with me a minute. Don't laugh. And, well, I'm going to get it. There. So now we have our words, friends forever. And that'll help us know where to place our leaves. So we've got our stems cut out. I've got another one over here. So we are going to put that aside and work on our dogs. So to stamp the dog, we're going to be using our Memento Black because we're going to color these with our blends. So let me bring in a piece of paper and the stamp for the dog, and we'll ink him up with the Memento and stamp him. There you go. Now, in the interest of time, I have already stamped 2 more dogs. And you're thinking, oh, you only used 2 dogs, but I do have one on the inside. I'll probably not color that one with you because it's going to be just like one of the other dogs. But I've got it cut out and ready to go on the inside. Let me just show you that, and then we won't have to worry. On the inside, I put a dog, a little bit of a stem, and a flower. And for the dog, I did stamp him on a piece of paper and color him with the blends and punch him. Otherwise, coloring it straight on there would have gone through to the back. So I think that'll take care of the inside of our card. So I'm going to pull in, and for one of these dogs, I'm just going to color the whole thing with my crumb cake. And keep in mind it's kind of hard to color on camera and keep everything in the lines and not take forever. So. Then, after I got all of that colored, I just took the light soft suede. This was the light crumb cake, the light soft suede, and I just colored in a few places with that, here and there on the dog. Just to give him some slight variation of color, not even trying to shade or anything like that, but just some variation. And then I'm going to go back over this whole thing with the light crumb cake again and kind of blend all that together. And he's partially going to be hidden by some of the stems, but you still want him to look kind of nice. Okay, I think that will do for him. Okay, and then for the second dog, I put some spots on him. So these were the spots that I used, and I used soft suede ink to help me with that. I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper. And I did stamp off with this, and I'm sorry, but I'm gonna stand up to see if I can see better. But this one you have to kind of okay. That's not too bad considering. And then what I did with that is I took my light crumb cake and just colored, get the wider end, I just colored here and there on him, not even trying to color the whole thing. And then I came back with the color lifter. I'm not so great with knowing what to do with the color lifter, but I just kind of used it to smooth out some of those edges so that he would just look like he had some light brown spots on him, as well as the darker. Some a little darker than others. So there he is. So let me bring in the Dog Builder punch, and we're simply going to punch those out. So there's the first one. And there's the second. Okay, so now we're ready to try to see if we can get the stems around our dogs. So I'm going to pull in the first stem, and I'm just going to turn it over and pull off the backing that's here. And it's going to pull off some of this extra stuff as I do it. I'm going to flick those off there. You know, sometimes they start sticking and you just can't get rid of them, so just be patient with me. This is a little bit tedious right here. So, I'm going to bring this dog in between these stems. And you can see this one piece of leaf is in the way. So I'm just going to take my snips and snip that one off because I want my dog's face in there. So when I get that kind of the way I want it, I'm going to push these stems down on the dog, and then I'm going to turn my dog over and add some snail to him. And then I can bring in my card and stick that down. So I've got my stems and my dog. Okay? And got a little bit of sticky right there. I'll come back with an eraser and get that out in a little bit. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the other dog. So let me get my I'm hoping that's punched out enough to get all this out. Well, I'll get it. Okay. There we go. Now I've got some sticky on my fingers, so we'll do the best we can with that. And I'm going to try to poke out these other pieces. I found out, hard to get rid of these pieces, but you can stick your finger under there and get those to pull back right out. But then you've got them stuck on your fingers. So I'm going to take my snips, and again I'm going to snip this piece that's going to be in the way of the dog. And now I'm going to put my dog through here. And when I get that kind of the way I like it, I'll push that down on him and get my snail. And I'm going to add him to the card. Okay. Oops. Stuck to my fingers. Okay, now I'll see I've got a little bit of a piece stuck here, so let me get that off. And the next thing I want to do is add my bird. Now the bird and the flowers are part of the Well Written stamp set. So here's the bird. I cut that out of Real Red, and here are the flowers. But look at this. They have 3 of those flowers, so you can cut 3 of those at a time. I needed 6, so you can see that saved quite a bit of time for me to be able to do that. And I have gone ahead and cut those out. I didn't think you needed to see that. So I'm going to pull in my glue dots and add one to my bird. And then I'm just going to kind of put him behind this leaf right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach my flowers. I'm just going to put them on glue dots also. And I have 6 because I'm going to put one inside, but I think we'll just hold off on putting that one on right now. And so I'm going to take my tool here, paper piercer, and just add the flowers where I want them on here. I'm kind of looking at my other card to see what I did because I kind of liked how it turned out. Okay, and then I think that I'm going to go ahead and stick a little glue dot under his snout here to make that adhere a little better. And all right, now we're going to take the Happiness Blooms enamel dots, and we're going to use those. I'm going to pick off the smallest of the navy, and I'm going to put it here at the bird for his eye. And then I'm going to pick these small yellows, oops, and put one in the center of each flower. Okay, so there you have it. It looks a little bit harder than it really is. The hardest part is all those extra sticky little leaves and pieces, I believe, getting those out of your hands. But here's the front of the cards. I see I've gotten some ink on that one, so that one will be my show for classes to see. And this one I'm probably going to send to a friend. Here's the inside. I'm just going to color another dog, punch it out, add a flower, a center, and just cut a little piece of the leaves off of that. And so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy the Stamping Around the World blog hop. I hope you'll consider our tutorials. They really are good. And they can be bought for $15, or you can get them for free with a $50 purchase from me if you're in the United States, or any of the other team members. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.